Oh, yes. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Lancescurv. If you do not see us here on any of the social media platforms, you can always come to Lancescurv.com. Forevermore, that's where all of our work has been, is, and will be. Guaranteed. Because you know we're in the age of censorship. And if we say one syllable off and somebody thumbs it down and says that it didn't make me feel glowing and loving and warm fuzzies, take it down, they'll take it down. So there's more than one way to skin a cat. You know, we have ourselves all over the place. You might have seen it a little earlier, how we flashed all of the podcast platforms that we're on. And too much to list. The main thing, make sure to subscribe, like and share, all that good stuff, because the algorithms are against us. And I'm not crying victim. I'm crying fighter, because we're fighters. In this day and age, if you're not that, you're done. You better have some grit inside of you, because 2024, an election year, is not going to be easy. Am I a doomsayer? Am I somebody who's just looking for clickbait? No, you know how life is. You know how it can be out in this world. Let me tell you, if I sound a little relaxed, not sleepy, but in that late night kind of feel, which is not late night, but right now it's 11:02 in West Africa, Ghana, up in the mountains. And I'm in that mood. I had a very fulfilling day. I accomplished a lot after the show. I got a lot of things done. And so now we're on the back end of my day, which we will continue on another platform. And I'll let you know before this show is over. Earlier, we did a 2-hour show. This is not going to be that long. But there's some things that were on my mind as usual that I want to share. As always, there's always something. Our minds should always be readjusting, recalibrating, thinking, not overthinking, but thinking enough to make sense of the madness that's going on around us. Because it is madness. And we try to make sense of the madness, and sometimes we lose our minds trying to make sense of the madness. But we can't, because it is madness in the world going on right now. We have so-called leaders, and they all want to go to war to take people's resources and drop bombs. And, I also want to say that in this particular episode, I am going to be careful in how I say things, because this banner on this particular show says it enough. Okay. When I created it, I wanted I wanted to be a conductor, right? You see the conductor right there in the front. He's got a top hat on. The words cover up his hands because you can see him holding on to the little thingies there to do the conducting, but he's turned around facing the camera. I wanted it that way. And then you have the musicians in the back who are listening to him, because, the conductor keeps the tempo even, and he directs who plays the instruments, although they all know already, but he keeps it all in check. They look to him. So this person, this thing, this skull, I can't say it's a thing. It had to be a person, right? Bottom line is that he's the and the musicians are all wearing masks. Do you see what kind of mask they're wearing? Well, like I said, like trained puppies. In 2024, we will be like trained puppies, ready to assume the position. Assume the position. What's the position? That sounds kind of freaky, right? But no, we're going to submit. I'm not saying you or me who is in the chat room, but most are going to submit. Most talk tough. And I said this on several other shows and in personal conversations, and I just want to make it official and put it in this particular episode or this particular segment of the show. I want to be sure in this, and I am sure in this. I know it. Oh, let me just greet those who came in the room. I'm not going to be able to do that the whole show because, I kind of fly away with my words. Yeah, Gifty. Gifty came in from earlier, and I moved the show back an hour because I didn't want to rush. I wanted to do the things that I do. Renee Green, Elephant Shaka. Yes, you're here. I'm glad you all are here, and 22 other people who are watching, right? So this is not going to be a rant where, like the guy on Main Street, and it's like, the world's going to come to an end, and doomsday, you're all doomed. I'm not saying that, because these people are not going to knock off the whole world, right? They're just not going to do it. They want to do it, but they can't do it. Life goes on. There'll be schemes and there'll be things, deceptions that go on, and some people will be affected. But as long as we move forward in love, right? That universal love, Some can call it the Most High. Some can call it God. Some can call it whatever. I'm not saying this in a European sense. I'm saying in this thing that we have, this power that we have inside of us that they go after because they don't have it. Well, who are they? Whoever they are. Don't try to box me and then try to mess up my channel to get me to say something. People do that, right? Oh, play this music because it may be copyrighted, but it's on Twitter. So get out of here. They come on cussing and cussing, just trying to say the words you say not to say. Or you can drop some bombs as far as that's concerned. But I realize there are agents out there that try to, get in your way, and they peep and they watch, and I'm peeping right back at you. I see you. I see you. As long as you stay up off of here, we're going to keep this one clean because we're going to leave the trash in 2023. This is a drama-free platform. You can dispute, you can have differences, but it's not going to be that, underbelly entities lurking. And no, they can lurk outside because we about the business over here. We want to really get to a point of ascension on a spiritual level, on a wisdom level. And we're going to have fun. It's not like we can't talk about different things. So we're going to have fun. We're always going to have fun. That's what it's all about. And enjoying your life, Let me get into the nitty gritty because I know this time is going to move fast and I'll probably be up there in an hour still talking. You won't mind. I start turning into motor mouth. You're like, oh, he's funny. He says some funny crap off the cuff. Sometimes I listen to part of the shows because I've never really listened. Once I do what I do, I don't go back. Let me hear what I said. No, it's just off the cuff. Take it or leave it. Let's have fun and let's do what we do. I wrote down a couple of things, a couple of points that I want to speak about, right? In the fast-paced digital age of 2024, our lives are increasingly intertwined with technology, ushering in an era where our minds are unwittingly manipulated by a barrage of distractions, right? This title, in 2024, we will be like trained puppies ready to assume the position, serves as a stark metaphor for the alarming susceptibility of our minds to external influences, particularly from mainstream media, social platforms, and online games. Tonight, we delve into the perilous consequences of this mental manipulation and the potential hazards it poses to our well-being. And please don't get me to say that over again because I can't. I like that. I couldn't make the title that long, right? But the other part of it was the dangerous dance with digital distractions. The dangerous dance. So we dancing in this dangerous. What kind of dance is dangerous? We're walking on the edge and we don't even realize it. It's mind control, y'all. And the mind control is to keep us distracted and keep us at each other. As long as we're here talking about the black man ain't no good and the black woman ain't no good, and I'm this group and that group. I don't even want to mention them groups no more. And we're at each other. And we have holes in the ship. The ship is sinking and we have holes in it, but we're fighting against each other. How's that? We had more unity back in the civil rights era. And I said that earlier on the earlier show. A lot of these things I want to say over again because we need to hear it. Not because I think I'm all that, because I need to hear it sometimes. I say things to myself and other people say, Lance, you need to, and I accept all advice. Well, not all advice, because, sometimes some advice is laced with poison thoughts, but there are those in my super tight inner circle. What? You all know who you are. And I accept it because people come into our life, we know on a negative level, but there's some people who come into our life on a positive level, and it's really edifying and has undergirded me. And I always thank them every single day for being in my life. So we're a team, y'all. We're the unseen team. Y'all can't reach out to those people. Y'all don't know who they are. Huh? People can be so destructive. And like I said, these people, they focus on the wrong things because they're so mind controlled. Like I like to say with the airplane and the runway, their runway is running short and they haven't taken flight. And like I said, you just let those people go. Let them go. Like the song there, let my people go. These are my people. Man, that's one of them soul stirring songs. I used to love to play that one. But the Winans, play it sometime. I'll find it. I'll drop the link down in here. But yeah, it's crucial. we got different points we have to talk about here tonight. And the first one is media manipulation and distraction. In the age of information overload, mainstream media channels exercise an unprecedented level of influence over public perception. Woo! Mainstream media channels exercise an unprecedented level of influence over public perception. Hold it right there. That's why they gave us social media. They let us bite the apple. And we think that our minds are opened. But we're being bombarded with so many different things and brought to a level of emotionalism. We're so caught up in the emotionalism that we can't see the forest for the trees. So many of us are just arguing and don't agree with this and caught up in our addictions. It's not just the mind control, but how mainstream media and social media fans our addictions because we want to escape. It's deep, y'all, because a lot of us feel hopeless. We don't feel we have a chance. So we get into our addictions. We don't mind being mind controlled because we can't think for ourselves at this point in time. We're mentally uptight. I'm not saying anything to anybody in the chat room, anybody I might know. I'm just saying overall for what I see from the way the world it used to be. I'm not some old geezer. Oh, the world used to be this way, and those were the days. No, I'm not no Black Archie Bunker. The best days are here, and the best days are now. We just have to deal with the residue and the gunk that's blocking up our mental, spiritual, and physical filters. Because if you have glasses on, you have spectacles on, and they're clear, and mud splashes up on them, you're going to think the world is dirty now, don't you? That's not to say that we don't have spiritual warfare. Yes, we do. But run the demons. You see them, run them. I'm going to talk about that on Clubhouse later on, about demons. These people who have demons inside of them, and they want to come around you and position themselves by being just getting inside your friends and family and just effing with you to take you out of your destiny. And it's mind control through the media manipulation. That's what it is. It makes us see things that, we learn, we expand if we pick through it. But if we just open up our minds wholeheartedly to accept everything that comes our way, that's not good. It's not a good thing at all. So we have to know how to strengthen our filters and have that resolve on the inside. Listen, it's just like the story I told you when I walked all them miles, 15 miles up in the mountains, and I didn't see lights until maybe the last third of a mile. And the van took me so far down between cities, y'all. Not cities like big cities, but little towns, little African towns where everybody's sleeping, right? And I had to deal. And for me, and I'm going to be back on topic, but we're going to flow. For me, that was a realignment. Because I'm not going to lie. I ain't Superman. I know I have good resolve and determination, and I'm confident, and, I deal with fear just like anybody else who's a warrior. You feel fear, but you say, hey, this fear ain't going to control me. I'm balling up my fists and I'm moving forward anyway. You see what I mean? But going through that, walking all those miles up in the mountains, hearing nothing except wild animals, and for a 10-minute period, all the sound went out. That was a spiritual experience for me. And it let me know I don't have to fear anything. I came through that. I'm more mentally tough than ever before to come through that. Not because it was a dark road. I saw nothing. We were up in the clouds. There were no street lights. There were no house lights, nothing. Animals. Just a single road that when the cars come down, one has to pull over so they can squeeze over. And I was out in that. I've never seen nothing like that in America. I've had some people from the Caribbean say, oh, yes, I've known that on my... Look, ain't nothing like what I saw out here. I'm not going to lie. I'm not gonna lie. There was nothing. And I know why I went through that. It's to get through other things that were coming at me that just bounce off my chest now. So some things happen, but you got to keep your mind right. Stop giving your mind to these little simple looking things. Our thumbs are getting more and more in shape now because on TikTok and on these little shorts, we just thumbing up, thumbing up, thumbing up, thumbing up. Next. What are you supposed to do for today? What is your mission statement for the day? What is your to-do list? Even if doing nothing is on your to-do list, do nothing. I'm not saying you can't amuse yourself slightly, but it's addictive. No reality for yourself. Come to that place and stop being influenced so easy. And it's okay to be influenced properly. But all of this stuff thrown at us, it's by design. I'm going to get redundant and say it again. Social media came out. We had the computers. Go back to the days where you said, I got to check my email. What did you have to do to check your email when you left work? You had to go home to check your email. You couldn't check your email anywhere else because these phones weren't connected to the internet. This is by design. 911 happens and we can't connect to the internet. And that era, that time period with the Patriot Act, right? It's late, y'all. I have my moments where there's no privacy. And all of a sudden, like the Reese's peanut butter cup, your chocolate got in my peanut butter got in your chocolate. So the smartphone had sex with the internet. They consummated that connection. So now you don't have to go home to check your emails. Now the social media platforms start popping up even more so. Of course, you had Black Planet and you had different message boards and different things, and MySpace, those little experiments. Go to MySpace right now. It's so corny. I have a MySpace page. I had a MySpace page. I went back to it and I'm like, what is this? Rock bands and all kind of stuff. Just this, who even owns MySpace right now? They can't be making any money. Then we have the big ones come in like Facebook. I didn't understand. It was corny looking to me. Facebook, and in 2005, here comes YouTube. See, this is by design, y'all. They gave us this stuff. They gave us WhatsApp. I've said this before on other shows. I'm saying it again. They gave us WhatsApp. You mean we don't have to get a calling card anymore to call out the country? You know, folks calling the Caribbean, folks calling Africa, folks calling Europe, wherever, Mexico. That was a big one. And I remember T-Mobile came out and said, well, between Canada, United States, and Mexico, you don't have to charge we're not going to charge you anymore. It's free. I mean, you're paying your bill, but it's free. Wow. Then you hear about the North American Union, where the currency for Canada, Mexico, and the United States is going to be called the Amero. And so many regions all over the planet are grouped up now. But the United States has yet to get to that point. So what has to happen to make the Amero in the North American Union happen? What catastrophic thing has to happen? Because that's already written. Google it, y'all. North American Union. Google the Amero. But they're not talking about that. We're looking at TikTok. We're looking at girls shake their booties. We're looking at people fight each other. Huh? We're so distracted. So these things that are slipping past us, like people stealing items out of a store while the security guard falls asleep and takes a snooze. And we don't know what's going on. We're not aware of it. It has taken our minds away somewhere else. Do you realize it's 2023, y'all? Do you realize we're going into 2024? I mean, look at this. We say time flies. You hear music from the late 80s, Public Enemy. You hear music from, the early 90s, Babyface, the love songs. Don't you realize that that was 30 years ago? For the late 80s, 30-something years ago? So now we can have our minds in suspended animation, hearing old songs that take us back to the old days. Yes, they are old days, but we're giving up today. We're functioning in a way where all we see is yesterday. All our troubles seem so far away. And we're boxed in, ready to assume the position, right? Assume. You make an ass out of you and me. Huh? Ass, you, me. You give me some ass. Wait, I'm not trying to be nasty, but we giving the elites our ass because we talk tough behind closed doors. Now here you got to really read between the lines. We talk tough behind closed doors. We talk tough at the beauty parlor. You know the one I was say. I always say it. You know how the ladies talk about this man ain't gonna use me. Shoot, I'm independent. I got my own place. I got my own money. And I'm not saying this to knock on sisters. I'm just saying I'm not like the other guys who are saying black men are no good. I love my sisters. I always encourage them. I'll spank them to get out of line. I don't mean abuse. Ain't no man gonna use me that way. Shoot, and they in the beauty parlor. They're all talking. They get their phone call when they're under the drive. Hi, baby. Hey, what's going on? Can I swing by tonight? Yeah, baby. What time you gonna come by? Oh, about 2 o'clock. I'm gonna be sleeping by then. So what you want me to do? I got to give you a key, but I'm gonna leave the door crack and I'm gonna leave the bedroom door crack. Just come on in. I'll be on my stomach. Just come on in and take it. And you do that. You go back to the beauty parlor next week. Somebody, yeah, these men can't use me. Hey, the guys are the same way. These girls ain't simping me. They ain't gonna use me. Call up the girl. Oh yeah, you can come over, but my rent needs to be paid. I'm just joking, y'all. Well, this government, in this society, in this world, if you think it's okay and everything is all right and this is the way it should be, there's something wrong with you. You need to check yourself in to a mental hospital really quick. And I'm saying that with all sincerity. And maybe I'm gifted or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. You can call me crazy, but I've been talking like this for a long time. And stuff is steady happening. But as they always say, not because other people have said it, but this is an election year coming up. And you know, a lot of people, very intelligent, very aware people have put a lot of things in my ear that I have processed, looked at it from every single angle and fitted into what I already know. And it rings true for me. You know? And yes, Gifty, and the people who speak light into me. I have to give credit where credit's due. And these individuals choose to remain anonymous. I understand that. But trust and believe, it's a whole new level of chosen ones speaking to me these days. That's why I set these things up and I just flow and I just talk, because this is how I talk all the time. Those portals have opened up even more. This is not pretend. I'm not trying to play Mr. Guru. I just told you I'm not the only one. There are people who come to me and feed me information. And the information fed to me in the last 2 days, especially earlier today, I didn't eat until a little while ago. I was so full of it. It sounds right. Oh, you're full of it. Let's talk about that. But I was just so full of it. I didn't drink, and I mean water, juices and stuff, not alcohol. I didn't eat till a little while ago. I didn't eat until, 11:25 here for me. I started at 11 and it was 10:30. I finished the last bite of food. And I said, let me get on up. I already prepared the show, the links and everything, and the way it's supposed to go out there. I said, okay, let me ease on into this. Because right now, I don't have to take this big preparation. Oh my God, I have a show. I don't know what to say. No, I don't know what I'm going to say. I jotted down a few things. Yeah, I do that. to put definitely certain things out there, but it's going to be always a free flow. I'm not sitting up here reading from some teleprompter with doing male Kegels, worried if I'm a stutter. If I stutter, I stutter. Sometimes, I'm a little fatigued now and I'm high naturally, and that's when it's better because there's no hold back with me. Don't hold back. If it feels good, do it. If you don't know that song, it's by Shine Song back in the late 70s. Nah. Let me move on with these points. Something's going to just make me just keep talking when I read this stuff. The constant stream of sensationalized news, often fueled by agenda-driven narratives. Sensationalized news, often fueled by agenda-driven narratives, serves to distract and desensitize individuals. The news is the worst thing you can put on because they have professionals now, number one, that have to keep you engaged with what they're saying because they have advertisers that depend on them keeping your butts in the seats. So they're not going to focus on even agenda. It's going to be slanted so you can think their way. You watch CNN, you watch Fox. They're going to say the same news, they're going to slant it a different way. How can I explain this better? Well, you give chicken to a Mexican chef. You give chicken to an Italian chef. You give chicken to a Jamaican chef. You give chicken to an American chef. Do you think that same chicken is going to taste the same? That Jamaican chicken probably is going to end up being jerk chicken. The Italian chicken is going to be chicken cacciatore. The American chicken is going to be plain and fried. And the Mexican chicken is going to be hot. Same chicken, different preparation. Some of us like it this way, some of us like it that way. But it's a slant on it the way the news is. One channel will say if a plane crashed, it was probably some agenda of a terrorist organization. And the other news station is going to say it's the Democrats. They had something to do with this. You see what I mean? And with our mind wide open, we accept this and because it looks so official. The 10 o'clock news with Lancescurv. And I'm going to slant it the way I want to slant it, but I don't slant it. I'm just that dude that you're talking to at the bus stop. I have no agenda. I just love doing this. This is what I do. And a lot of people have a problem with that because I can't be compromised. He never going to compromise me. It ain't going to happen that way. As a result, the public becomes malleable, susceptible to shaping opinions that may not necessarily align with reality. This is why you have so many internet quacks. You have so many doomsday channels. Oh, it's happening right now. Breaking news in the backgrounds and the buttons that and they make it seem like, oh my God, this is finally happening. World War III is happening. We easing up on it. And really and truly it's been happening. But what about the World War III in the spirit realm? We're looking at all these tanks. We're looking at all these bombs. We're looking at all these leaders who they're saying these different things that it's like threatening. And if we move it on to save Taiwan, China's going to come at us. If we mess around in Ukraine more, Russia's going to come at us. Iran's got bombs pointed at us. Blah, 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 blah. When is it going to end? Like I said, there are spiritual entities feasting off of our fear. We get a little scared sometimes. We say, okay, today's quiet, but is it going to remain this way? It's a seduction. They're getting off on us. They're getting off on our fear. Spiritual masturbation. Ooh, look at them. Ooh, they're scared now today. Yeah, let's just give them a little bit of fear, and tomorrow we give them a little more in a different direction. Ooh, hold back. Oh, don't want to come too quick. Demons masturbating on our fear, and we giving it to them. We got to take that back. We got to put our spiritual titties away and stop titillating these demons with the cleavage. Doesn't belong to them. Never, never, never. Social media's grip on our minds. Social media platforms designed to be addictive have become virtual playgrounds where our attention is the currency. The constant bombardment of curated content tailored to individual preferences creates echo chambers that reinforce existing beliefs. This digital echo chamber effect not only divides societies, but also distracts us from crucial real world events by fostering an illusion of connection within the confines of our online bubbles. Oh, man. Did you hear that? I ain't gonna say it again. Y'all got to play this on the video when it goes up as this stream when it goes up on the video. You see how they have our mind? Even the strongest of us. And it's addictive. Well, Lance, you talking all that mess, man. You be on there, man. You did a 2-hour show earlier, and you well into the one now. You might do another 2 hours. No, I'm not going to do 2 hours tonight, but I'm already 32 minutes in. I understand that. But you got to put on your spiritual condoms when you get online, y'all. You ain't going to catch a sexually transmitted disease online, but you can catch a spiritual transmitted disease, and you can have sexually transmitted demons jump on you in your mind. That's what it needs. Not just a physical touch. Oh, anybody put their hands on you, don't know what they're into. That's true too. But then you turn around and open up your mind. You cover the front and your backside's open like the little robes, the little things they give you in the hospital where your ass is out. Wait, I don't understand that. They never fit. The front's covered, but your behind is out. Even when you tie it the right way and pull it, your ass is out. I figured it out, y'all. They don't want you leaving without paying or doing whatever you have to do. You're not going to leave and go to the bus stop with your ass out. This guarantees you stay there, unless you happen to be somebody who's like, I don't mind walking out there with my ass out. I might get lucky. I didn't say who, y'all. I saw a whole lot of rainbows today. But anyway, moving along. Oh, God, our minds are so open. You're putting a $50,000 security system on your front door, and you got a cheap nickel and dime hardware store latch on the back, and it's not even latched, so the way the wind blows, blah, 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 letting somebody know, I can get into that house from the back. We're not evenly balancing our consciousness because we're easily distracted, and every single one of us here has a bit of distraction, including myself. And I'm online a lot because this is what I do. People talk about, oh, I'm a content creator. No, not always. I'm a full-time. You just add into the confusion. Many of the people who lie to themselves and say that, right? Anybody can say anything online. Anybody can throw something out online. Everybody who throws a hook in a line out into the water ain't always a fisherman. You trust and believe. The fisherman knows what he's doing. Anybody can now put up some graphics and run their mouth and verbally plagiarize other people, hear another channel and come back with something else. It's commonplace. We don't know what is being regurgitated. We want to say things to sound good. We want to say things so people can rah-rah behind us and follow me and like me, and all this insecurity pulling people in the wrong direction. Be real with it, y'all. Be consistent with it. 1 year a person comes out online, they're rah-rah in this particular ideology. The next minute they're rah-rah in this, they're changing up. There's a lot of social media people out here like that. Whatever's the most lucrative, they're going to roll with. They're not going to speak from the heart. It's always about getting more attention and more clicks and more this and more that. And you're losing yourself. What do you stand for? Whether you really ride with him or not, the late Dick Gregory, he wasn't bending. He cussed out the interviewer. Huh? What'd you say? Am I effer? All this white froth on down the side of his mouth. He ain't bending. You weren't there. I was there. What you going? Come on, man. Shut up. And let me tell you something. I ain't got much time. like I said, I almost had a chance to interview that brother. And I was in communications with them. Not him. His wife was the one. I shot an email and I got an answer back. And then he passed away. I was like, man, see him? I would shut up. I'd let him talk. Even if he cussed me, I'm like, okay, I'll take the cussing out. We need to be humble sometime. I'm not going to come on here tomorrow. Dick Gregory, I'm the great Lancescurv. And no. Who the hell are you, man? You weren't even born in a suit. Yeah, I was born, but I was a little baby filling up diapers. We got to know when to humble ourselves, y'all. When true wisdom is being spoken to us. It doesn't always have to come from somebody who has all of the accolades of the world and all these degrees and all this elevation. It could be a bum on the street that says something to you at the right time that's meant from you, or meant for you, rather, excuse me. That's the way it is. That's the way the divine is, right? The escapism trap of online cyber games. Online gaming, while providing an escape from reality, can be a double-edged sword. The immersive nature of these games can lead to a detachment from real-world consequences. The addictive allure of virtual worlds may result in individuals neglecting their responsibilities, including the potential danger of risking lives on the road due to distracted driving. Even if it's just that, y'all. Even if it's just that. Y'all know, you see people on not only on the phones, but texting and driving. And how many people still do it? Of course, they made laws where you can't even talk on the phone in most states. I'm quite sure there's some states that don't even have it yet. But the texting and driving, they're bus drivers they got fired for texting while driving the bus, texting long too, running into back of vehicles, running off the road, running off of bridges. And they have those cameras, those digital cameras, not the digital kind you buy. I'm saying the systems where they have the cameras all over the bus and they have their little black box. I know that. You pick your nose wrong when they're going to tell you about it. The supervisors used to see women who were getting on and, okay, I'm going to pull that box later on. I'm going to see what she really looks like. Pervs. They would catch certain things going on. It's crazy, you know, not to get off topic, but it brought a little story to my, to the forefront of my brain. And in Orlando, you have Valencia College East and you have Valencia College West. My old route to 21 went through Valencia College West. And I did the one that went through the East campus early on when I started driving, because a lot of guys didn't want to go out there for some reason. You had long layovers and stuff like that. Well, there was a guy who was a bus driver. You know, he passed everything, clean health and all that and whatever. But he had an eventual crack habit. And so his layover was like 45 minutes at the end on this weekend, because it wasn't running as fast as during the week. So he had this woman meet him. And instead of them going off into their car, or her car, or whatever, she would get on the bus. They locked the door, passengers outside, you know, because the passengers were allowed to come in on the bus and sit down on the layover. But they didn't want that. They went to the back of the bus, you know, cut the lights off, because this was at nighttime. So you couldn't see anything on. And the people saw the young lady get on the bus, and they wanted to know why they couldn't get on too. Well, they went back there with smoking crack and getting busy. And after this kept happening week after week, somebody had called it into a supervisor, and he parked up a little bit, because you sort of supervise cars, so bus drivers who are doing dirt always look for those vehicles. And so he pulled back in the cut, parked there, and he stood like back off the corner and was watching. Then he got his vehicle and rolled up on him. Got on there. They were completely naked, smoking crack and little liquor and whatnot. Unbelievable. Like the addictions, the escapism. I'm trying to tie this into that, but like, where are we in our minds? Do we see reality as we should? This thing has taken us off. To me, I'm going to say it like this. Social media and the online stuff and the mind control and where they want to take our minds to have us like trained puppies, like sheep, ready for the slaughter. We're already there. We're ready for the slaughter in 2024. If you don't take anything from this particular rant or me rambling, get ready to go to bed soon. We're ready for the kill. We're ready to be taken in 2024. It gets no crazier than this. You know, you'll see the things that you send people, little crazy things on TikTok. There's things I see. I got to show this to this person. There was one thing that was sent to me. This woman in New York City. It could have been Queens. It could have been Bronx. It could have been Staten Island. It wasn't Manhattan because the stores had their signs. The phone number was 718. So it had to be Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx, Staten Island, right? I'm looking at it. I'm thinking, this got to be either Brooklyn or Queens, just the way it looked. Well, the lady somehow was standing in front of a bus in an intersection. Somehow she broke the glass of the bus. The bus didn't move. Smart move. Don't move. Don't leave the scene. You know, enough people are there. The cops are on their way. And then she started to take her clothes off and undulate, and the cops got around her and she's screaming out and whatever. And I was telling a friend of mine, this is what you see every day in New York City. And New York City was crazy before social media got around. So I can't blame social media on that. But social media has damn near amplified it. Even worse. Mental illness is on the rise. Then you have the demons that are in people. You can't even tell if it's mental illness or demonic possession or both. Or both. Mental illness, addictions, and demonic possession. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not trying to sound like I know something that somebody don't know, because all y'all know it. And Black people, we have a connection to the spiritual, even when we're dumbed down through the indulgences of this world that numb us. We know there's a spiritual element out here. Most of us have had some type of experience, whether we saw something or not, whether we feel something or not. There's that one thing that we can't say, well, there's no spiritual realm. I'm not talking about the churchified thing. I'm talking about having a real situation where you knew you got a glimpse into something not of this realm. You always hear that white man in the job. I overheard you at lunch talking about the spiritual thing. I don't think that exists. I'm an atheist. Well, you keep on going with your atheist ass. We know in the back of our mind. That's why some of us are fearing transition, because we know we done messed up enough. No, I don't want to go right now. I know I ain't got nothing good on that side because I did too much dirt. We know. And we marvel at those people who may be older or even younger. And they say, I'm not worried about death. Let it happen. It's natural. I'm at peace. Lord, it's crazy. Let me read on a little bit. Almost done with these points. Vulnerability to tragic events. The collective preoccupation, excuse me, I'm having a Mike Tyson moment, with digital distractions renders us vulnerable to unforeseen calamities. Whether it's the threat of terrorist attacks, mass shootings, or other tragic events, the distracted state of society leaves individuals ill-prepared to respond to real-world emergencies. This vulnerability is further amplified by the disconnect between digital existence and the tangible realities of life. This vulnerability is further amplified by the disconnect between digital existence and the tangible realities of life. Digital existence. That's a hell of a term. I'm enjoying these words. Digital existence. What is your digital existence? Is it a secret life? Is it a double life? Where is it? It usually doesn't align with the tangible realities of life. I'm not saying walk around thinking about, well, it might be a terrorist attack. It might be a mass shooting. I don't know what's going to happen. No. And I know this is real. You know how I know it's real? I'm online a lot. Yes, I am. Putting these shows together, researching stuff, writing stuff, learning stuff, filtering through the gook and the things that will clog your mind up, filtering through it now and get into those nuggets of things we have to know. And I go deep. I'll be in this thing for hours, not mindlessly scrolling, but for hours. And when it's time to do something outside, this is what I've noticed. And this is the effect it's had on me. It's almost like deep sea diving. And you go way, 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 way down. And when you come up, you're kind of out of it. Because now you're back in the light. But you're down, deep sea diving in some concoction, some kind of thing that you're inside of. Which I ain't going down in nothing like that. Them other people that did that thing and they all died, not me. There's just certain things, folks, that black people are just not going to do. No way. But when I come out of my research or what I'm seeking to find as far as information is concerned, and I might have been 3 or 4 hours deep, eyes wide open on the internet, a couple of screens open and comparing the information between the two. Let me tell you something. When I say, okay, this is enough, and I get up, and I've noticed this, I've gotten better to go out and do something, walk in the street. I'm a zombie. Somebody say something to me, damn this, huh? Because my mind is still there. And I didn't like it. So when I go deep enough, I come out of it. I go deep enough, I come out of it.